Hello, everybody. This video is about the mass cultural phenomenon known as celebrity. People have a thing for people. In addition to talking to, befriending, and otherwise interacting with other people, people also like to look at other people, to think about them, to compare themselves to them, to try to be like them, to recognize parts of themselves in them, and also to define themselves in opposition to their perception of what certain other people represent. The leading theory about why human brains are so much more capacious than the brains of other animals is that language and culture have created a situation where the most adaptive skill human beings have is their ability to perceive one another's points of view, and that the mirror game of thinking about what another person thinks about me requires so much processing power that human beings have actually evolved in response to one another's evolving ability to understand one another. Most evolutionary processes take place in response to the demands of the physical environment, but human evolution, for at least the last million years or so, has taken place in response to the demands of the interpersonal environment. We are the landscape that our minds have evolved to inhabit, and this human interdependence is our species' superpower. It also means that for human beings, other people are not just other people. They are part of the structure of our own consciousness. Think about it. Your best friend is not just a person out there. They exist as a cluster of memories, associations, and emotional responses that takes shape through a complex architecture of neuronal connections. And this architecture is part of the wider network of neuronal connections that make you who you are. Your friend, that is not just located in a part of your brain. As a result of the webiform architecture of neuronal tissue, your friend neurons are interwoven with every other part of your consciousness, influencing every part of your being in ways that you will never fully appreciate or understand. We are the world. You're a part of me, and I'm a part of you. It's literally true. And it's easy to see how this kind of turbocharged neuronal empathy would be useful to a primate species that evolved in small tribal bands of interrelated members. In the early evolution of hominids, they might have lived in a macrofamily of 50 or so individuals, and the success of the tribe relied heavily on the members' ability to develop relationships with one another, to resolve conflicts, and to work collectively toward common goals, and also to outwit one another, to outthink rivals, and to predict the likely behavior of enemies. Everyone in the tribe must have had neuronal space for every other member of the tribe, allowing them to work together as a collective superorganism. These days, the human race has advanced the adaptation of working together as a collective superorganism to a hypertrophic degree on a global scale, and we still use our brain's obsession with other people to manage our personal lives, our families and friendships, and our memberships in neighborhoods, workplaces, and communities. But we still have a lot of brain space left over, especially considering that human social communities are probably smaller on average than they were a million years ago. How many people do you know really well? If you're like most Westerners, the answer is probably between 6 and 12. But if you're a caveman, the answer might be 50. This means that modern humans probably have an extra neurological budget for thinking about other people. And then it is also the case that the global superorganism of the human macro tribe is missing that sense of personal connection to other individual human beings that formed the core meaning of the Pleistocene tribe. The result is that you have a hypertribe that is missing a sense of human personality, combined with a world full of vaguely lonely souls who are pining to connect with a missing tribal family. This is the perfect formula for the birth of the celebrity. Celebrity culture is typically identified as a 20th century phenomenon, and in its modern form, the nature of celebrity relies heavily on the prevalence of electronic or digital mass media. The first modern celebrities, the silent film stars of the 1920s, arose alongside the emergence of the movies as the first popular electronic medium. At the same time, people's obsession with celebrities did not come out of nowhere. The iconography of celebrity culture has obvious precedents in the reverence of saints in the Christian tradition, the regard for the aristocracy in feudal and early modern Europe, and maybe even the stories of heroes and gods from classical mythology. I would argue that both celebrity culture and these pre-modern precedents all have their origin in our Pleistocene heritage. Over the million-year time when human beings were sexually selecting one another for emotional intelligence genes, we developed primordial strategies for addressing the impossible question of what other people are and how we should think about ourselves in relation to them. And I would speculate that people's relationships with celebrities parallels these strategies. Following are 6 categories of celebrity identity. 1. The ego ideal. The celebrity provides a model of how to be a person in the world. 2. The fantasy. The celebrity focalizes psychosexual desire, demonstrating to people how they should channel their otherwise unwieldy and formless capacity for erotic desire. 3. The demigod. The celebrity provides assurance that there are super people, people who can transcend ordinary limits. They are not role models, but rather models of people that we can submit our freedom and individuality to. 4. The type. The celebrity provides a specific face to represent a certain class or type of people, acting as a kind of personification of a certain race, gender, ethnicity, age, occupation, class, or personality. In this function, the celebrity reassures us in the ostensible reality of such categories. 5. The fool. The celebrity upends stereotypes and received truths, mocking them in ways that reveal new creative possibilities for social behavior and ideological schemas. 6. The sacrifice. Celebrity serves the ritual function of being publicly tortured and executed, a deep ancestral pattern in human societies. Some might say that all celebrities become sacrificial victims of the masses in one way or another, maybe even through the process of being identified as a celebrity. These categories all mix together in complex ways. One celebrity might take on several of these identities, or different audiences might associate any given celebrity with different functions. It's interesting that these celebrity types track closely with the figures of the tarot deck and with the archetypes of Jungian psychology, although I think all of these cases probably have their origin in the legacy of prehistoric hominid social structures. On the one hand, it seems weird and random that out of billions of human beings on the planet, certain individuals become elevated to the role of celebrity, a category that, for the purposes of this discussion, encompasses not only entertainers and media personalities, but also in various ways athletes, politicians, artists, and activists. On the other hand, it may be seen as an inevitable symptom of the human condition, trying to retain its tribal sense of intimacy against the background of a global mass anonymity. People's sense of familiarity with celebrities provides a much needed sense of personal connection amid an epidemic of loneliness and depression. Celebrities also provide a human face to the semantic structure of mass media culture. The defining feature of celebrity is that the individual becomes a symbol. Their persona transforms into an aura, a field of signification that surrounds them and that attaches to everything they say and do. Within their celebrity function, the famous person's behavior becomes attached to meanings that it would not have if they were just a private citizen. When a private citizen spills coffee on themselves, nobody cares. But if Marilyn Monroe spills coffee on herself, it is an iconic moment that is packed with meanings. These meanings typically take place at a subconscious level, but deliberately analyzing and interpreting these meanings can help us to become more aware of them. Like studying any other element of mass culture, examining celebrities and the culture of celebrity can suggest profound insights into both the dynamics of contemporary media culture, as well as, possibly, into the nature and origins of human consciousness itself.